Hey everyone, welcome to the 15-year celebration of the मेरी सबसे पसंदीदा romantic film of Bollywood, which is called जाने तू या जाने ना, which stars Imran Khan, Janila Deshmukh, and Paresh Rawal has a small appearance. Paresh Rawal and Nasiruddin Shah, and even Ratna Patak Shah has a good appearance as well. So yes, बहुत मजा आता है जब भी ये फिल्म देखता हूँ तभी. So let's get dive in, let's get deep into it. First of all, let me introduce the guest. After coming like कितने आई थिंक 2 साल बाद तुषार मेरे चैनल पे आया है. लास्ट में जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा ये किया, लाइक रिकॉर्ड किया था, बस उसके बाद कभी तुषार आया नहीं था. सो यस,
तुषार
वेलकम
ना
बैक.
तुषार ना मिलेगा दोबारा हो गया था उसके बाद, है ना?
मिल
हाँ
गया
हाँ
दोबारा.
हाँ, फाइनली तुषार मिल गया दोबारा. सो यस, वेलकम तुषार टू माय चैनल. एंड द नेक्स्ट वन इज द वन एंड ओनली मिस्टर पैन इंडिया, जो पैन इंडिया फिल्म्स के लिए कभी भी रेडी रहता है. सो यस, लेट्स गेट इनटू इट. ओके तुषार, लेट्स बिगिन विथ यू. आपने कभी ये फिल्म देखा, लाइक कैसा लगा जब 2008 में ही ये फिल्म देखा, और
Yeah,
व्हाट
so
वाज योर
I
थॉट्स?
watched this film when I was in my first year of college. So theater में ही देखा था क्योंकि इसके ऊपर काफी buzz था उस time पे, and there was no film like that for a long time because Bollywood was in a transitionary phase. Like Hrithik Roshan and Abhishek Bachchan, these guys had moved on to more mature roles like Guru and all that they started doing. And there was
ड्रोना
Drona, Jodha Akbar, and this kind of content they were doing, and they were no longer youth. And ये आजकल जैसे हो रहा है जैसे कार्तिक आर्यन और all these young brigades, Siddharth Malhotra, Varun. So we didn't have actors doing films like that. So there was a void that was there, which this film filled. And before that, briefly we had Ishq Vishk, and before that I can think of Shahid Kapoor doing Ishq Vishk and Jab We Met. Sorry, Ishq Vishk, Jab We Met. Only far and few between we had. So suddenly this film came and it was huge in my campus, and everyone wanted to watch it. The music was a huge hit, A.R. Rahman, and the launch of Amir Khan's nephew. So I watched it in the first weekend itself, on the release weekend, amid all the buzz, having loved all the music. So yeah, so that was my first experience, and I really enjoyed it back then, and I still do.
Okay. So yes, Mr. Pan India, आपको कैसा लगा ये फिल्म?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक
This
यू
is this
संकेत.
is before the Pan India era, actually.
Actually, first of all, thank you, Sanket, for inviting me to talk on this particular film, जाने तू या जाने ना. क्योंकि see, it's an amazing film, first of all, but see, it's an opportunity to share this space with Tushar Sasi, the man behind a lot of great reviews. I have read his review about Meri Pyari Bindu. He keeps writing about it then and again. So huge shout out to Tushar Sasi, bro. It's
Thank
been
you
a
so much, Anai.
and it's been a long time since I came to know about you, but never spoke to you. But I feel this space is very important for me to connect with you. So thank you so much. And so coming to the film, जाने तू या जाने ना, जैसे ये फिल्म का जो क्रेडिट स्टार्ट होता है ना विद दैट पेस्टल काइंड ऑफ डिजाइन, वो जो है पेस्टल काइंड ऑफ डिजाइन में जो क्रेडिट्स डालते हैं ना, जाने तू या जाने ना, वो that तू
Yeah.
बोले मैं बोलूं, song by A.R. Rahman, that sets the mood for me. The film starts like that. It's like a sweet breeze here. I really loved that film. And coming to the story, how I watched this film, I did not watch this film at a theater near me. मैंने थिएटर में नहीं देखा. वैसे बहुत लोगों ने तारीफ की थी ये फिल्म देखने के बाद. जैसे तब मैं शायद 8th स्टैंडर्ड में था, तो there were my junior girls who 7th standard 6th standard girls who were this crazy for Imran Khan. They were saying he's better than Shah Rukh, he is better than this. वो टाइम पे होता है ना थोड़ा बहुत, क्या बोलते हैं, लड़कियों का थोड़ा ये होता है. He was the heartthrob at that particular time. So what Tushar bro said, I could relate to it, because he said after Shahid Kapoor, Imran Khan was incoming. Of course Ranbir Kapoor came much later, but
Ranbir had joined, yeah, but he didn't have a
he
big
did,
movie like this.
yeah, he did Savaria first. So Savaria was not a typical romantic rom-com of Bollywood style film nahi tha. So that's why people
But
that
तभी
void,
अजब प्रेम की गजब कहानी काइंड ऑफ जैसा आया था, तो वो उतना नहीं था.
he kind of filled that void. He kind of filled that gap. But Imran Khan was the heartthrob of the nation. He was the national crush all before Siddharth Malhotra, Vijay Deverakonda, Rashmika Mandana, जो आजकल पैन इंडिया क्रशेस है ना, नेशनल क्रशेस है ना, उसके पहले इमरान खान था. आई रियली मिस हिम ऑन स्क्रीन, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, बिकॉज
Yeah.
when I rewatched this particular film, no, I started missing him. Of course, he has limitations. Of course, he has some kind of range problem as an actor, but definitely big fan of Imran Khan as well, because I feel even now he can do well. Yeah. So I really loved the film, और मैंने 4-5 बार देखा. मैंने, मेरे पास डीवीडी भी पड़ा था इस मूवी का. उसके बाद मैंने
Oh.
नेटफ्लिक्स पे देखा 1-2 बार. उसके बाद आज मैंने देखा रिवॉच फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉडकास्ट. तो या मैंने 4-5 बार देखा है. यस.
मैंने मैंने आपकी तरह ही है ना कि मैंने कोई थिएटर में नहीं देखा ऑब्वियसली. मैं भी तभी इसी कुछ स्कूल में, हाई स्कूल में था, तो ऑब्वियसली थोड़ी ये देख पा रहा. लाइक इट्स अबाउट अ यूथ फिल्म, इट्स अबाउट यूथ, हाउ एंड लव ओवर टाइम एज वेल, कि कैसे तुम लाइक कॉलेज के फाइनल डेज में थे और फिर जाके लाइफ गेट्स रियल, और तब जाके लाइक तुम जॉब ढूंढ रहे हो और लाइक जॉब कर रहे हो. सो लाइक वो फेज में कैसा क्या लव रहता है उस टाइम के बारे में. ऑब्वियसली लाइक उस टाइम पे इतनी लगी थी अच्छी, नो डाउट अबाउट दैट. बट जब मैंने अभी रिवॉच किया, आई वुड लाइक वाओ कि काफी थोड़ा कुछ अलग जैसा लगा मुझे, कि लाइक इट्स बोलते ना कि अपने खुद के जिंदगी में जैसे कुछ पल होते हैं वैसे कुछ लगता है. लाइक इट चेंजेस ओवर टाइम. क्योंकि मैंने जब भी आई थिंक 2017 16-17 में या तभी देखी थी. सो आई डिडंट फेल्ट लाइक आई डिडंट कनेक्ट टू इट वेरी मच जितना अभी मैंने किया है वैसे. सो
Oh,
इट इट वाज अ वेरी
it grew on you. It grew on you. It grew on you.
एब्सोल्युटली इट ग्रू ऑन मी, आई वुड से. क्योंकि देखो बहुत सारे लाइक अनलाइक तुषार, मैंने इतनी सारी बॉलीवुड फिल्म्स नहीं देखी है लाइक. बट मैंने जितनी देखी है उसमें से यार मुझे यही काफी अच्छी लगी. जस्ट लाइक इट्स
Oh, that's
लाइक
great.
कुछ भी नहीं है. इट्स फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट थिंग लाइक थोड़े स्टार्टिंग मोमेंट से ही, जब से नसीरुद्दीन शाह का कैरेक्टर इंट्रोड्यूस हो जाता है वैसे लाइक वहां से ही पता चल जाता है. आई वुडंट कॉल दिस अ फैंटेसी फिल्म एज वेल, बट इसमें फैंटेसी एलिमेंट्स भी बहुत सारे हैं. लेकिन इसलिए मैं ऐसे सोचता, अरे यार ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता, ये तो ऐसा, ये एयरपोर्ट में जाके लास्ट ऐसा वैसा, लाइक वो मैं कुछ सोच ही नहीं रहा था. क्योंकि लाइक इट्स लाइक उन लोग ने स्टार्टिंग में ही जैसा कुछ मेंशन जैसा कर लिया था इनडायरेक्टली, कि इट्स काइंड ऑफ अ फैंटेसी काइंड ऑफ फिल्म. सो काफी चीजें लाइक इट वर्कड आउट फॉर मी. ओ
क्या हुआ?
तुषार इज गायब. ओके, आ जाएगी फिर से.
फैंटेसी, इधर भी फैंटेसी हो रहा है क्या?
इधर भी फैंटेसी हो रहा है. यस. सो यस, मैं बोल रहा था कि लाइक काफी सारी चीजें वर्क हो रही थी मेरे हिसाब से. सो लाइक एक एक्चुअली कमेंट पढ़ रहा हूँ, सो मुझे वो काफी लाइक बराबर अच्छा लगा.
It
ओके, आई
doesn't
थिंक
believe
तुषार
in
इज
love.
बैक.
It doesn't believe in
ओके,
love at first
तुषार
sight.
में फैंटेसी एलिमेंट्स आ गई थी, तुषार चले गए थे, लेकिन अब फिर से आ चुके हैं. सो यस,
Cool, cool, cool.
तुषार, मैं एक्चुअली कमेंट पढ़ रहा था यहाँ पे, मैंने जो बहुत अच्छा कमेंट लिखा है. डजंट बिलीव इन लव एट फर्स्ट साइट लाइक डम आइडिया, इट्स ग्रेट थिंग अबाउट इट. एब्सोल्युटली. लाइक पहले से ही उन लोग एक दूसरे को जानते हैं, और फिर जाके उन लोग एक दूसरे के साथ और भी इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, और लाइक जस्ट एट द एंड
Just
लाइक
they don't
लव
know.
का
Just
दूसरे साइड भी समझते कि ओके, अगर एक दूसरे से दूर रहते तो क्या क्या होता है, क्या क्या लाइक कैसे एक दूसरे को अवॉइड जैसा करने लग जाते हैं वैसे. लाइक सो काइंड ऑफ इट वर्क्स फॉर दैट. आई फील दिस फिल्म. आपको कैसे लगता है तुषार की लाइक
So
व्हाट्स द थिंग?
what I observe is that this story stems from reality. Like it's not something that it's something that a lot of us might have experienced. Like if you look around, there'll be a million stories like this of people who meet in the campus and then they become friends and then it turns into something else. And for them, some of them it takes time for them. They'll go through other relationships and other complexities, and then they'll realize, okay, this person is the one that I'm supposed to be with forever. The concept of soulmate, or the fantasized idea of forever togetherness. So it happens to a lot of people, and that is what exactly what connected to the youth especially, because people who are in campus, they are suddenly exposed to a lot of new ideas and new faces, and there is this sudden freedom that you get out of the, you get out of school, and you get to meet people, you get to even go to clubs and maybe consume alcohol, and a lot of things happen. And it's in this transitionary phase, a lot of us that we meet the person in an idealistic sense. So it's this relatability that made sense to a lot of us, which is why our generation and the ones that before that and after, the Gen Z, all of us, we relate to the film. So that way, I would say this film has a very generic and a very basic story. It's been told in cinema and literature across languages and geographies so many times. It's about a boy who meets a girl, and they take time to realize what they feel for each other. But then again, cinema, I know, is not about stories. It's how it's being told. It's about how it's written, how it's executed with an array of characters who make sense in the larger construct, which is exactly what happens with Jaane Tu, Jaane Na. Even the tiniest of characters, like say Nasuruddin Shah, who appears in the frame, on the photo frame, or even Arbaz and Sohail Khan, who appear only in a couple of scenes, they add a lot of value to the intricate screenplay that Abbas Jayawala has created. And it's in that relatability, and it's in the creativity in weaving a familiar story with uh, new, refreshing characters who are kind of cute as well. So it's easy to buy. There's nothing deep about it. It's not like a Rang De Basandi kind of youth film. You don't have to think too much. You have seen these people somewhere around you. So that's why it
Oh,
works for me and a lot of others, is what I understand.
okay. आपको कैसा लगा नहीं like what do you think about the characters in this film?
See, Aditi was very relatable because, of course, everyone has some kind of Aditi in their life, but it was not relatable to me because I did not find someone like Aditi, to be very honest. But yeah, you find shades of Aditi in people you meet, of course, because there are people who are like that. But of course, I could relate to the character of Pratik Babbar. He was just himself here. He was just himself. He had a very small role, but जिस हिसाब से वो था, like he was unabashed, he was very honest with Imran. Whenever he spoke to him, he was, of course, he looked like a brat and all, but to me he was a very honest character. I could just understand why he was like that, because I have seen such characters in my college life, some of my college friends brother like that, so I could relate to that character as well. It may look a bit funny, but yeah, I could relate to that character as well. But coming to the core point, I really loved how they executed the idea of friendship turning into blossoming into couple, and they did not even realize जाने तो या जाने ना, उनको पता ही नहीं था, like they don't know वो एक दूसरे से प्यार करते हैं। जैसे हम अपने पेरेंट्स से बहुत लगाव रखते हैं, वी आर क्वाइट अटैच्ड टू आवर पेरेंट्स, बट जब हम उनको छोड़ के चले जाते हैं या कहीं टूर पे जाते हैं या कहीं जाते हैं, तो वी रियलाइज ना कि हम हमारे पेरेंट्स को मिस कर रहे हैं। तो इट्स काइंड ऑफ अ होम फीलिंग, फैमिली फीलिंग दे हैव फॉर ईच अदर,
Right.
Jenny and Imran Khan. So that was quite. It's not something which was not told, but it was something retold in a fresh way. And there's one particular scene where Imran Khan is interviewed or say grilled by Aditi's parents, Genelia's parents. Okay, वो सीन बहुत फनी था एक्चुअली। रिविजिट करते वक्त भी उतना ही फनी था टू मी। तो हाँ, और वो लोग एक दूसरे से लाइक दे वेरी हॉनेस्ट विद ईच अदर, दे आर नॉट ट्राइंग टू हाइड एनीथिंग। ऑफ कोर्स आफ्टर दे लव ईच अदर, दे आर ट्राइंग टू हाइड कि मैं प्यार करता हूं या नहीं करता हूं, दे आर कंफ्यूज्ड कि मुझे बताना चाहिए। दैट स्टेट एवरीवन गोस थ्रू, whoever loves or whoever has some kind of feeling, be it love at first sight or be it love at after few months of dating or something, also people are confused। वो वाला स्टेट भी बहुत अच्छे से मैच्योरिटी से दिखाया था अब्बास टायरे वाला ने। या सो ऑल दिस काइंड ऑफ pulled me towards watching this film again and again, and of course Arbaz and Sohail को तो मैं मिस नहीं करना चाहता because उनका कैरेक्टर भी बहुत फनी था यार, काफी फनी था। हाँ
ओके, तुषार के फैंस थोड़े जुड़ गए यहाँ पे।
हाँ नाइस यार, नाइस टू सी दैट।
काफी तुषार सैसी फैंस, फिल्मी सैसी फैंस भैया, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग। और एक फैन जुड़ गया है जो एक्चुअली लाइक ही इज द वन एंड ओनली डॉक्टर।
डॉक्टर
लाइक उसके लिए
भैया,
भी
रणधीर भैया, हाय
डॉक्टर
रणधीर
भैया।
भैया,
सो
हाय।
एक्चुअली So
Iron
उसके लिए भी like he's also mentioning that the comic relief worked very well, absolutely very well. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
like his favorite scene is actually the banter between Ratna Patak Shah and Paresh Rawal. Actually ये जो पहला scene रहता है जब तक
वाघमारे ना,
वाघमारे
Inspector
वाघमारे,
मारते
Wagner.
इंस्पेक्टर
सो
वाघ।
जाते हैं, अरे सच में कितना कितना लाइक मुझे लगा था कि अभी अभी जाके मैंने देखा और तब जाके मुझे एहसास हुआ कि लाइक this character Wagmare, Inspector Wagmare is played by someone big, but मैं भूल गया था कि कौन प्ले कर रहा है. फिर जाके ओके जब ये आया, ओ ओके तो ये परेश रावल प्ले कर रहे हैं और बाप रे यार, इट वाज समथिंग एल्स. वैसा था, बहुत अच्छा लगा था. और
बट मुझे
प्रिंट भी
मुझे
वैसा
एक
था.
बट मुझे एक थॉट आया था जब मैं ये फिल्म आई थिंक थर्ड टाइम या सेकंड टाइम देख रहा था, कि आमिर खान वो कैरेक्टर करता, पारेश रावल का कैरेक्टर, मजा आ जाता। लाइक
अच्छा,
he
interesting.
could have pulled that because he did some Tata Sky ad at that particular point of time as a police
Oh,
officer. He came as a lady. He did multiple get-ups. So I have this habit of replacing actors with some other actors. I have this fantasy in my mind as well. So I kind of felt, because it's Amir Khan production, right? So I kind of felt he could have also pulled. It's not that Paresh Rawal did not pull it, but Paresh Rawal was amazing. He was amazing.
He was.
He nails every role that is given any day. But Amir Khan in such a role would be something very different. ऐसा लगा मुझे. हाँ.
अच्छा, okay.
So this film, I also feel it's also a dialogue on modern parenting. Like we are used
Definitely,
to
definitely.
watching, say, Nirupa Roy or all those VP mothers in, say, movies like Karan Arjun and DDLJ, and then we have seen all this Amrish Puri kind of characters, like dads who are very like assertive and they want things in a certain way. Like, but in this film, you see Peachy and Pumpkin, who are Genelia's parents. They kind of like sort of counsel her, like, you know, sometimes it happens like तुम्हारा Mr. Right तुम्हारे सामने होगा और तुम उसे पहचान नहीं पाओगे. So they have freedom to sort of say it out to their child. Of course it comes with their financial band they belong to, and the, you know, the openness that they have and the age their children are in. But it also showed Bollywood evolving out of the stereotypical Ja Simran Ja Jeele Seri Zindagi Wala, you know, that sort of a dynamic change to people. Secondly, from the, you know, like I said, the Nirupa Roy Parita Jala dynamic, you meet Ratna Pathak Shah as Savitri, who is a social worker, and she is a feminist, and she is someone who fights against violence, and she is com- completely against the way her husband and her family and his family used to be, and she is bringing up the child, her only child, the way she wants to, as a non-toxic, empathetic man who takes turns with her to cook the meals, which is not something her husband would have preferred if he was alive. So that's a refreshing new, you know, aspect that I observed in this film. And also she is very anti anything. This is, she's very clear about what she wants to say or what she wants. She doesn't mince words just because she's a woman or a mother. Like there's my favorite part is like the way she describes her husband's family. Like I can narrate the whole dialogue myself because it's imprinted in my head. She says something like "Tum sab sirf re hinsak." Then she takes a pause. Mard. You know, that sort of it. She's dramatic and at the same time she's very clear about what she feels about this way of, you know, upbringing which she doesn't want for her son. And at the same time, like you said, the banter between Wakmare and her, like, you know, she says like, I'll change my name if this doesn't happen, and the guy, he's a very toxic misogynistic man. He says something like champa chameli kaisa rahega and all that. So it irritates us, but we also get the picture on, you know, about a woman's you know, strength and a resilience to be a certain way, which is the correct way actually, and a man who is you know, who is surrounded by toxicity and how he deals with the situation. So yeah, parenting is one thing I observed in the film.
एक्चुअली डॉक्टर ने भी बहुत अच्छी बात की अबाउट द राइटिंग ऑफ द फिल्म. लाइक जाने तू या जाने, लाइक इट्स फील्स अबाउट इट फील लॉट लाइक अ राइटर्स मूवी.
Writers
बेसिकली द राइटिंग गाइड्स द मूवी. गुड गुड जॉब बाय अब्बास टायर वाला.
Yeah.
Okay.
So have you seen, like, since Abbas happens to be a lyricist as well, So the
Correct.
dialogues and the lines in the songs, they blend very well. We don't see a disconnect. Sometimes it happens like you are singing a song and
They are
it's
not
all
speed breakers. They are not speed breakers in the film.
right,
They act as a storytellers themselves. The songs, be it
right.
Nazare Milana, Nazare Churana, that song, or be it Tu that
Kahin to
Tu Bole Main Bolun, that when
yeah,
first time it appears, no, as a vlog, as a video recording, no, that feels very dreamy also.
right.
Yeah,
एब्सोल्युटली. और एवरग्रीन गाने यार, सच में
evergreen. Still,
रहमान साहब ने जो म्यूजिक कंपोज किया था
One
यार.
of his best soundtracks in Hindi,
soundtracks,
I
yes.
believe. Yeah.
Nothing sort of a masterpiece for me because I still listen to them. Yeah.
हाँ, ये जो तू बोले मैं बोलूँ, मुझे नहीं, ये इतना याद नहीं था, लेकिन ये फिल्म जब देखा फिर से, तो वो मतलब वो गाना फिर से दिमाग में बैठ गया यार, कि यार कितना अच्छा गाना था। जैसे कि लाइक जैसे तुषार को एक बार मैंने अभी सुनाया था, रहमान साहब का ही गाना था, कौन सा, मंगलम गाना, जो मतलब अभी हाल ही में
वो आलय पाइदे और साथिया से था, हाँ करेक्ट
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट, वही वाला। सो मैंने तुषार को सुनाया था, और वो गाना जब मैंने खुद ने पहली बार लाइक बहुत सालों बाद मैंने सुना, सो कितना काइंड ऑफ वो बहुत अच्छा लगा, और बहुत नॉस्टैल्जिया जैसा हिट हुआ कि वाओ, ऐसे तरीके के गाने पहले हुआ करते थे वैसे, और लाइक listening to that songs after many years, so like it hits you on another level, and वही सेम चीज हुई इसमें, जैसे तू बोले मैं बोलूँ, ओ माय गॉड, वैसी सेम फीलिंग हुई थी इसलिए। सो आई एब्सोल्युटली लव्ड हिज म्यूजिक। मैं हैरान था कि रहमान साहब ने इस फिल्म के लाइक म्यूजिक, इस फिल्म को म्यूजिक दिया था। वाओ,
Due
सच में।
credit to the lyrics too. Tu bole to class आधा खाली, tu bole to class आधा
मैं
भरा. It's a
बोलूँ,
relatable line, right? Like some
yeah,
we are all different, and
they're trying to exhibit our that pessimistic and optimistic way of looking at life, you know.
yeah,
That way, yeah. And my favorite song was kahin to hogi,
yeah.
kahin to hogi, wo that song still
जो आखिर
feels
में
very
होता है,
special.
राइट?
आखिर में होता है. And there are some other songs as well, like जाने तू मेरी क्या है. I think they featured for very less screen time, but
Yeah.
amazing songs. Yes,
आपको कैसा
music
लगा
is
था लाइक, और जो गाने थे, लाइक नॉट जस्ट अबाउट तू बोले मैं बोलूं, बट और भी थोड़े गाने और कैसे लगे थे?
मुझे okay.
यस, तुषार।
Tusshar.
Like I said before, I find it one of Rahman's best in Hindi. So my favorite song would be Kabhi Kabhi Aditi because it's very hummable. Like anybody can sing it. Like Kabhi Kabhi
Correct.
Aditi. So anybody can sing it, and there is a line in it like "Gaan to aata nahi hai
नहीं
magar
है मगर फिर भी हम गाते हैं.
So it's an irony. Like he's singing so well in Rashid Ali's voice, and there is this lyric. So it's about, it kind of sets the tone to the film. After the opening credits, you establish all the characters physically. You all see them together, and Aditi's personality especially is, in crystal clear fashion. They put it out there. So I would say that's my favorite song in the film. And if I'm listening to the soundtrack on Spotify or something, then probably Kahin To Hogi and Pappu Can Dance Sala, because Kahin To Hogi for its lyrics and Pappu because I can dance to it. So yeah.
एक्चुअली लाइक यहाँ पे लिख रहे Cinephile 007 टाइटल सॉन्ग इज आल्सो ग्रेट, गॉट लॉट्स ऑफ लव
Lots of
बैक
love.
देन।
Very true.
हाँ, मुझे फर्स्ट सीन्स याद नहीं थे कि क्या होने वाला था, लाइक जस्ट मुझे पता था कि एयरपोर्ट में कुछ तो हो रहा है, और एयरपोर्ट में लाइक उन लोग टाउन से एयरपोर्ट आ रहे हैं उतना नहीं पता था मुझे, इतना मैं भूल गया था। सो जस्ट उन लोग का रिपीटेडली यहाँ पे उन लोग ये चीज़ गा रहे थे, एट द एंड वही सेम चीज़ यहाँ पे रिपीट, लाइक वो गाना फिर से बज रहा है, और लाइक फिर से वो गा रहे हैं, और उसमें भी काफी कोर्की कॉमेडिक मोमेंट है कि जो इंस्पेक्टर है, जैसा, हाँ साहब, वो जाने तू या
मुरली
जाने ना,
शर्मा गाता है ना.
मुरली
मुरली
शर्मा,
शर्मा
हाँ,
He
like,
sings.
टेररिस्ट गाना गा रहा है सर. कौन सा गाना गा रहा है? तो गाता है वो. हाँ.
like how can you make a serious situation for them to a very comic situation, जो
Yeah.
इस फिल्म ने करके दिखाया था। so it's quite great, सच में, जैसे डॉक्टर ने बोला, it's all about the screenplay in this film, absolutely।
It's
Or
also
even
like I have seen, like there are very few films that has shot Bombay so well in a very relatable manner, especially the southern part of Bombay. So like you see a lot of landmarks and a lot of familiar places and the roads and everything. So it very like you see the culture of town, like say the horse ride and all that. So that way it sort of brings the city alive. Like I've seen it in a couple of other youth films as well, but this I would say is my favorite in bringing the ambience and the surroundings alive.
और डॉक्टर ने अभी एक जस्ट एक चीज मेंशन की,
All the
like
second
all the
characters.
secondary characters were also fresh and funny.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like like Jignesh the Patel.
Jignesh.
लाइक वो अपने खुद के दोस्तों को अपने खुद की सरप्राइज पार्टी में बुला रहा है, लाइक द रोतलू फ्रेंड. एंड इवन अभी जस्ट मैंने पता चला, लाइक गूगल मैंने किया था आज, और मुझे पता चला कि सुगंधा गर्ग का जो कैरेक्टर था शालीन, वो लाइक उन्होंने बोला आज इनके इंटरव्यू में कि शी वाज गे, शी वाज अ लेस्बियन कैरेक्टर.
Yeah, it was obvious.
ओके, लाइक मुझे नहीं पता चल रहा था, लेकिन वाओ, इट्स लाइक आपको
See,
दाद
she is
देनी
seen
पड़ेगी
with
कि
Jiggy, but there is no romantic inclination between the two. She's the single one in the gang, and while others like Bombs and Rotlu are,
I
they
think her
like
looks.
Aditi and Jay.
I
Yeah.
think her look was quite indicating that, right? If I was not wrong.
Maybe or maybe not. But the thing is, like, she was never attracted to these guys, any of
Correct,
them,
correct.
with whom she had the closest bond. And so it was kind of evident. Probably they didn't want to say it out in 2008. But
Correct.
yeah.
करेक्ट, बराबर हो सकता है डेफिनेटली. और भी सारे कैरेक्टर्स यार, जैसे कि अभी डॉक्टर ने भी मेंशन किया द प्रिक मोदी गाय, लाइक आई थिंक उनको फिर जाके बहुत हेट्रेड भी मिलने लग गई थी इन रियल लाइफ. आई थिंक जितना मुझे याद आ रहा है कि इन रियल लाइफ जस्ट टू प्ले ये कैरेक्टर प्ले करने के बाद, लाइक ये शशांक मोदी का कैरेक्टर प्ले करने के बाद, सुशांत मोदी, सॉरी, सुशांत मोदी, वो वाला कैरेक्टर प्ले करने के काफी हेट मिला था कि यार लोग मुझे सच में ऐसा समझ रहे थे कि लाइक यू आर लाइक मच लाइक द कैरेक्टर.
I think he acted in serials, no? After that particular actor, he acted in a lot of serials, I guess. After that, शायद मैंने देखा था.
Yeah, I've seen him in a couple of films too, in small roles. So the thing with this characterization is that Aditi tells Jai that तू मेरे लिए एक tough लड़का ढूंढ. Like I'll find a sweet simple लड़की for you. तू मेरे लिए tough लड़का. That was a stereotype. Like this tough लड़का can be my life partner or my soulmate is what she had in her 20-year-old mind. When she meets this tough ladka who in a stereotypical way was everything that she wanted, like as a person, like as a physicality and the reflexes and everything, but the guy turns out to be something she actually didn't want. It took her, he is a catalyst. So Shant is a catalyst to help Aditi realize that no, this is not what I want, this is what I want. So that's what the character exists for. It's slightly negative in tone, actually kind of negative outright, but yeah, the hate is pretty demanded in that situation.
Correct.
लेकिन एक इंटरेस्टिंग कैरेक्टर मुझे काफी अच्छा लगा, जैसे अनय ने पहले मेंशन किया था, प्रतीक बब्बर का कैरेक्टर. वो काफी लाइक पहले लगता था कि यार ये कौन है, जैसे
क्यों है कौन है, क्यों है वो भी प्रतीक बब्बर क्यों है.
He says he mentions all the friends that Aditi has, some Iyer in Bangalore, Gwalior में कोई ना कोई. So do you remember any of my friends करके वो पूछता है, तो Aditi बोलती है shit, I don't remember any. I didn't have. So guy says I didn't have any friends, you were my friend. So that way, that particular scene kind of tells us why the guy exists in the plot. So I really like that.
He's an introvert. He's an introvert actually in the film. Many introverts could relate to him actually, to be very honest.
So another yeah, the introversion bit takes me to another bit. See, the characters in this film has been written after a lot of perhaps psychoanalysis. If we do an analysis of these people, like say this guy Pratik Baba's character is a classic INTP guy. He's a logician. Like he analyzes, he thinks, and even the scene that he has with Sushant, he interacts closely with him, gives a painting to him and all that. Then he gives the verdict that this guy is not right for you, Aditi. Jay is your guy. So he is the the most intelligent of all, and that says he is an INTP. Likewise, Aditi is not very intellectual or intelligent that
she's
way.
not
She's an
smart.
entertainer. She's an ASFP, if I'm not wrong.
She's not
So that
sharp
way, the
as well. She's not.
characters are clever, right?
थोड़ा delay हो रहा है क्या?
Yeah, she takes time to sort of observe. Like another character that I would like to mention, the last one, is Meghna's character. If you see, like, she's a classic INFJ. That she is idealistic. She is a perfectionist. She is romantic. She
Manjari
tends
Fadnis.
to romanticize even toxic situations. So there is a habit. Yeah. So that was
डॉक्टर
a
ने
master
लिखा है.
stroke. All these characters and the different shades that Tyrwala, the writer, gave them. Yeah.
Actually, डॉक्टर ने भी बराबर लिखा है कि like Manjari Fadnis's character is well
It's
written.
well
She
written.
has seen her parents fighting very aggressively since. Oh, okay, fantasy elements another time. Or एक बार. Okay, very aggressively since childhood, and her defense mechanism is to
क्या
live
हुआ?
in a fantasy world. तुषार चले गए इससे. So
अरे यार,
yes,
फैंटेसी जब आता है तब चले जाते हैं.
इसलिए so yes, her defense mechanism is to live in a fantasy world, interpret things differently. Exactly यार, सच में ये चीज मैंने भी ऑब्जर्व की थी कि कैसे, और at the end the yes, you're back.
Welcome
Okay,
back,
so
welcome back.
मैं
Sorry.
just वही बोल रहा था कि पहले हमको लगा था कि यार ये क्या बोल रही है, जस्ट ये अपने फैंटेसी में जी रही है, और फिर at the end she admits that she is used to live in this fantasy world, and she is kind of
She was traumatized.
Okay.
She was traumatized since her childhood. That is quite
इसलिए
evident.
और
Yes.
संतोष भैया ने भी बराबर थोड़ा लिखा है कि मंजरी could have been
Yeah.
the next मिता और शबाना. I think, do you agree with that, तुषार, इस point में?
She definitely had the potential, but somehow she never got films that kind of capitalized on that bit. So yeah, actually, she was really good in this film. After that, I haven't seen much of her work.
She acted in a lot of Marathi films, no? After this, if I was not wrong.
अच्छा. ओके, हो सकता
मराठी
है
फिल्म.
मुझे. अच्छा, ओके, नहीं, डेफिनेटली हो सकता है ऐसे, इसलिए
हो सकता है.
I don't
But
know.
I did not catch much of her in Bollywood. Like मैंने कुछ बड़े फिल्म में या कुछ बड़ा रोल नहीं देखा.
There's some
I've seen her
connection
only
issue
in this
over
particular
here.
film. हाँ.
अच्छा, ओके, नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, चलेगा. लाइक फैंटेसी एलिमेंट्स तो फिल्म्स में भी होते हैं, तो ये फिल्म की सेलिब्रेशन वीडियो में
Yeah,
भी
there is
होनी
some
चाहिए वैसे. नो प्रॉब्लम तुषार. सो वही मैं बोल रहा था कि फैंटेसी एलिमेंट्स थोड़े वो फ्रेम में से बात करना और घोड़े पे वो सब करना, वो तो फिल्म में भी हो रही थी, तो ये फिल्म की सेलिब्रेशन वीडियो में भी हो रही है. सो
चल रहा है तो मजा आ रहा है.
Exactly. But yes, we were talking about Manjari's character, and she was obviously a good part in this, like a balanced part की जो इसके लिए इमरान खान के लिए लाइक जो कैरेक्टर, जो आइडियलिस्टिक चाहिए था, वो मिला, और फिर जाके एट द एंड इसको अदिति को एक मिला, एक एन आइडियलिस्ट हस्बैंड, लाइक उसके चाहने वाला कोई, उसको नहीं, सॉरी, आई वुड से उसके जो डिस्क्रिप्शन वाला कोई इंसान मिला. फिर जाके आई मतलब मुझे काफी अच्छा लगा कि दोनों को एट द एंड रियलाइज हुआ कि दोनों एक दूसरे के लिए परफेक्ट है.
बने. They are made for each other. They are made for each other.
हाँ, like definitely. So it's such a good everlasting films की. So अगर बहुत सालों बाद भी लोग ऐसे देखे तो काफी अच्छा लगेगा. एंड तुषार
नहीं, अभी भी फ्रेश लगता है. इनफैक्ट मैं तो कहूँगा ऐसा लगता ही नहीं है कि फिल्म 2007 2008 में बनाया और 2008 में रिलीज हुआ. ऐसा लगता है कि 2014 15 में रिलीज हुआ. It has that repeatability. People can still watch and relate to it. I feel not only people from Sobo or Mumbai, people from anywhere in India can relate to this particular film. ऐसा लगता है मुझे. हाँ.
और कोई ऐसी फिल्म्स जस्ट आई होती है, लाइक हुई होगी तभी के जमाने.
Wake Up Said is one film which comes to my mind. Wake Up Said, which also has quite similar setting, but the film talks on completely different issue, taking up responsibility, growing up as a mature guy. Totally
Right.
different film. But if someone asks me, if you mention some 3 to 4 films which are on the lines of Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na, or which has similar kind of vibe, I would say Wake Up Sid, Dil Chahta Hai is
दिल
a
चाहता
different
है.
kind of Dil Chahta Hai is a different film.
So
Zindagi Na Milegi
also
Dobara
guys
as
remember Imtiaz Ali's film Socha Na Tha?
yeah, I watched Ayesha
Oh,
Taki and Abhay Deol.
Yeah.
But again, that film has a very generic ending. Okay, that was a different kind of times we were living in 2005. No, 2005 में आया था वो film.
Yeah, yeah.
तो उस
It
टाइम के लिए तो
was
ठीक था
nice.
ending, like yeah, but काफी generic लगा था मुझे ending. Personally मुझे काफी generic लगा था. बहुत filmy लगा था, but the film was very good. फिर जब वी met also, but जब वी met is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're telling something. You're telling.
No, I'm saying like even Jab We Met is similar, but Socha Na Tha had a similar template. You meet the girl in
Correct.
an unusual surrounding, and you take
They become
you
friends. They become
again.
friends.
It shows the trajectory, and they eventually get together. It's the same structure which they have developed in a different fashion with similar characters. You see a lot of even there is this Christian family. They have got in that film too. Karen's parents, so that you see in Meghna's home. You see that. So I believe like they are similar but not the same. Yeah.
Correct. Even see some of the conversation between Imran and Genelia, you could relate to Rahul and Anjali from Kuch Kuch Hota Hai as well. Like they were also quite made for each other, but they did not understand. They were like Tom and Jerry, but here they were not Tom and Jerry, but they were into each other. Like there are some parallels which can be drawn. I felt in
Janelia
some.
has done a very similar film called Tujhe Meri Kasam, which was, I think, it was a debut film. Debut film. It came in 2002 or three with Ritesh Deshmukh.
Ritesh
Again,
Deshmukh, yes. It was a debut film, yeah. Genelia and Ritesh Deshmukh,
the
correct.
story was the same. It was a remake of a Malayalam film called Niram.
Oh,
Again, same story, but treated in a slightly different fashion. Since it
okay.
was a remake, I don't think they did much to, adapt it to a Bollywood setting. But still, it worked for me when I watched it
Correct.
back then. But Jaane Tu definitely is a better film.
Definitely,
Better.
any day. Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na works because it's written in that way. You don't feel bored at any
yeah.
instance. You don't feel the way the screenplay flows. You don't feel bored at any point of time. Towards the end of the film, it doesn't look it is stretched or something like that. Like आजकल के जो film बनते हैं, be it not, I won't say तू झूठी मैं मक्का also has similar kind of an ending, but उसमें तो पूरा family चले जाता है वो लड़की के पीछे. ओके, स्पॉइलर है क्या? बहुत लोगों ने देख लिया होगा ना तू झूठी. You watched it ना तुषार? तू
Yeah,
झूठी मैं मक्का.
मैं तो नहीं देखा है.
थोड़ा स्ट्रेच लगता है वो फिल्म. तो जाने तू या जाने ना देखने के बाद ओके इट्स रिलेटेबल. थोड़ा स्पूफी भी लगता है जाने तू या
the
जाने ना.
problem with a film like Tu Jhuti Tu Makar is that it schools an idea. Like say
Correct.
Vivah. Vivah
Correct.
schools an idea of arranged marriages. Tu Jhuti,
Correct.
that film schools the idea of joint families.
Joint
Over
family
here,
and
the parents, like I said before, they are like, why don't you consider the other person? What if Aditi is the right person? So
no,
there's
they're
some
cool. They are very cool. The parents in Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na are very cool actually. Such
Yeah.
parents are blessing actually, to be honest. But yeah, you tell me.
Tu Jhuti Tu Makar, the parents are like, why doesn't she like living with us? They are alien to a concept of living in by themselves. Over
Correct.
here, they are still with the guy not being in love with her, and if they want, they can. They are asking the kids to figure out, which is how it should be, and that's also the reason why this film has aged well and will be watched by the coming generation. But a film like say Vivah or something like Tu Jhuti wouldn't age
Ma'am.
that good. It will be forgotten after a year.
True, very true. All the
और
Love
एक
Ranjan movies will have tough time aging because see, I'm not saying they're not entertaining, but see, when it comes to schooling an idea, when it comes to portraying some characters as if they are the only person right, I think that's a wrong notion they are setting up. To be very
ये कितना सच है मुझे नहीं पता, लेकिन
Trivia.
अगर सच है तो काफी अच्छा है कि भाई सीक्वल टू जाने थे जाने ना वाज बीइंग प्लान्ड विद
Darshil Safari.
ओ बाप रे, लाइक ये
But I think
अच्छा
there was
हुआ
an
नहीं
idea.
हुआ.
I think there was an idea. I think Abbas Tariwala also mentioned in some of his interview or something, because I think he made the Juta Hai as a, Juta Hai Sahi after this.
He's saying, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Juta Hai Sahi was an amazing,
संतोष भी बोला
not a film, amazing
कि
film, but a tire burst after Juta Hai Sahi. Juta Hai Sahi or Juta Hai Sahi.
No, I didn't
हाँ
find that
क्योंकि I think
bad as such. I mean, it was watchable.
Yeah.
But
It worked for
it
me
didn't
as
have the
well.
spice of Jaane Tu.
Yeah, it is again a different kind of a setting, no, London and all. Again,
Yeah.
John Abraham in such a role, he was a macho man, no, that time people did
Yeah.
not expect him to. And I loved the soundtrack, to be honest. Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na and Jhoota Hai Sahi, both the soundtracks, I still listen to them because they're very close to my heart. The songs in Jhoota Hai Sahi, we can talk about it if some other space, we can definitely talk about them. But Abbas Tyrewala has great creativity here. The way he writes lyrics, the way he writes some of his scenes. Even I think he was working in Patana as well. No, he was the
Yeah,
screenplay
right.
writer.
He was the dialogue writer.
He was the dialogue writer, and even I think he worked as a assistant to Farah Khan in Mehuna as well. Mehuna as well, he was there.
He worked on many
So,
films before. Like,
yeah,
I remember him writing songs for this film called Love Ke Liye Kuch Bhi Karega. It had like really creative songs. Like if you remember the Aslam Bhai, it has such amazing lyrics. I don't think anybody in Bollywood would have written a song like that. So when he transformed into a filmmaker, the skills to write like really funny and fun lines came into his dialogues as well, which was earlier exhibited in films like say Mehuna. The dialogues were really fun in that film.
Really funny, and they were really funny, and they were not on your face, no, not on your face funny. They were just funny. They were not forced. ऐसा नहीं लगा कि forced था. काफी naturally funny थे. Even on the other day on the podcast we were discussing about "Ye Jawani Hai Diwani." That is also relatable because of that factor only, है ना? क्यों संकेत? If I'm not wrong.
सच में नहीं, डेफिनेटली यार. मुझे एक्चुअली एक चीज बोलनी थी कि ये फिल्म देखने के बाद मुझे एक चीज रियलाइज हुई कि अगर ये फिल्म और थोड़ा लंबा भी होता तो आई वुडंट माइंड. लंबा इन द सेंस कि ये स्टार्टिंग में अगर उन लोग दिखाते कि हाउ दे मेट और उन लोग की दोस्ती कैसे और आगे बढ़ी और फिर जाके ये फिल्म का शुरुआत से जो स्टार्ट होता तो और भी अच्छा लगता है कि like we could have delved or we could have delved more into the characters and more into their friendship as well. और उन लोग कैसे पहली बात मिले 5 साल उन लोग ने गुजारे. 1 साल जैसे उन लोग बोल रहे थे कि कॉलेज के 5 साल कब गुजर गए. सो अगर वही सेम चीज अगर उसमें दिखाती तो मुझे और भी बहुत अच्छा लगता. सो वैसा था. सो आई वुडंट माइंड अबाउट दैट लाइक और थोड़ा लाइक अच्छा टाइम दे के ऐसा दिखाता. लाइक ये आई थिंक 2 घंटे की फिल्म है. 2.5-3 घंटे की भी जितनी होती तो ये एब्सोल्युटली ओके. अगर उससे भी ज्यादा होती तो आई वुडंट हैव माइंड लाइक वैसे, क्योंकि लाइक काफी अच्छी फ्रेंडशिप जैसी कहानी ही दिखा रहे हैं जस्ट फॉर अबाउट द लाइक नॉट द नेचुरल 2.5 आवर्स बट 3 घंटे की और 3 घंटे की दिखा रहे हैं.
It would have worked well as a web series or something with
correct.
Something like Never Have I Ever with 2-3 seasons. That way, if we would have enjoyed it in today's date, but it was 2008 and they didn't have the resources to pull something off like that.
Correct. It was not viable. It was not commercially viable as well, no, to make a long romantic film as well. Romantic films were dying at that particular point of time, if I am trying to be honest, because see, 2008 was something I think Shah Rukh Khan also was doing Rab Ne Banai Jodi. I think it was his last few romantic films which worked at the box office. So the romance as a genre was, of course, this film is a romantic comedy. It's a relatable film, but romantic as a romance films as a commercial viable thing, I think it was dying. So that's the reason the runtime was less. Probably they could have added some 15-20 minutes, जैसे संकेत बोल रहे हैं. Correct. I understand. I agree to it.
हाँ. और नहीं इवन ये एक रोमांटिक कॉमेडी जैसा जॉनर नॉट इवन जस्ट इन बॉलीवुड लाइक हॉलीवुड में भी इट्स काइंड ऑफ अ लूजिंग जॉनर, डाइंग जॉनर, क्योंकि लाइक बहुत लोग ये ऐसी काइंड ऑफ फिल्म्स थिएटर्स में देखना पसंद नहीं करते हैं. इसलिए ऐसी काइंड ऑफ फिल्म्स नेटफ्लिक्स या अमेज़न पे ही आती है, जैसे लाइक टू ऑल द बॉयज आई हैव लव्ड बिफोर और द राइट
Yeah.
स्टफ, नो कुछ ऐसे कुछ तो है एक,
फोन बूथ भी है, फोन
फोन
बूथ।
बूथ वैसे मैंने देखी नहीं है, लेकिन और एक है एक द राइट समथिंग है एक, मैंने नेटफ्लिक्स पे देखी थी। सो आप अगर नेटफ्लिक्स पे जाओगे तो ये ऐसी काइंड ऑफ फिल्म्स दिखेगी आपको, बट ऐसी फिल्म्स अगर आप थिएटर्स में रिलीज करोगे तो वो नहीं, प्रोबेबली नहीं मिलेगी
आजकल
वैसे।
के टाइम में, आज के टाइम में थोड़ा वायबल नहीं है,
Hmm.
और उस टाइम में वायबल
हम्म।
नहीं था, बट द फिल्म सक्सीडेड, व्हिच इज वेरी गुड। ऑफ कोर्स कंटेंट मैटर्स, कोई भी जॉनर हो, कोई भी लीड हो, कुछ भी हो, whenever it is content matters, this film proved with that। और we were talking ki on the lines of this film, which film we could tell people ki इस film जैसा और कौन सा film है, तो मैं कहूँगा एक मैं और एक तू, starring Imran Khan and Kareena Kapoor। I think that was also an amazing film for me। I really enjoyed that film। Again Shakun Batra जो इस film में आते हैं ना, पप्पू क्या
Imran
खानदान
Khan
साला,
did a couple of films like this.
the
There
second,
was Uske Baad, he did this film with Deepika. It was
correct।
similar to they were childhood buddies and they grew up
ब्रेक के
into.
बाद, ब्रेक के बाद had
Uske Baad,
amazing
yeah.
songs। Yes, again amazing song।
अधूरे
No,
अधूरे
Imran
हाँ।
Khan had a journey in himself। He had a good journey in himself। I think he continued doing films of that caliber or that sort, he would have continued, but I think he had his inner calling after doing Katti Vatti, he left he left the showbiz। Yeah।
Yeah.
ओके।
But Ek Main Aur Ek Tu was a brilliant film। I would say it's a good successor। If you are watching Jaane Tu ya Jaane Na, you can watch Ek Main Aur Ek Tu and you can also enjoy। It's that kind of a film। Yeah, yeah।
Yeah.
ओके। सो यस, लाइक बहुत बात हुई और बहुत मज़ा आया इस फिल्म के बारे में डिस्कस करने के लिए, लाइक इस फिल्म को सेलिब्रेट करते हुए। काफ़ी रेयर चीज़ होती है आई वुड से कि मुझे ऐसी रोमांटिक बॉलीवुड फिल्म ऐसे कुछ पसंद आए, जो मुझे काफ़ी बार नहीं होती है, लेकिन ठीक है। एक एक लास्ट चीज़ पूछनी थी तुषार आपसे, क्योंकि लाइक सिंस यू वर लाइक आपको पता थी लाइक व्हाट वाज द बिजनेस अराउंड बैक देन,
Hmm.
समथिंग आपको पता होगा कि हाउ वाज द रिस्पांस फ्रॉम द ऑडियंस एट दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम, आपको मतलब वो ऑडियंस ने कैसा लिया था
So
फॉर
I
द फिल्म?
remember it was the time was the buzz was really big around the film because the music was hugely successful. They were played all across, and in that month, I it was the vacation month, and as in like May, June, and they didn't have many hit films if I remember right. They had a film called De Tali coming out and Irritation, After, I guess, and it
I think
didn't do.
Generally has one more film came, no? No, one more film, Mere Baap Pehle Aap।
Mere Baap Pehle Ab.
हाँ
I don't know if it released in the same month, but before that there was Thoda Pyar Thoda Magic. It didn't work. It was again a children's film, and there was Love Story 2050 releasing on the same day as
Bhootnath also came in the same time। Bhootnath
Bhootnath. It came in
May
2008. Same.
May
It
और
was the,
अप्रैल में आया था शायद, मई और अप्रैल में आया था शायद। हाँ हाँ
okay.
हाँ।
So yeah, from what I feel is that the film filled a void. We didn't have enough youth content or young stars like Shah Rukh and Amir and all these guys were in a different zone, and Ritik Abhishek, like I mentioned before, had moved on to more mature films, and there was suddenly this whiff of fresh air with Imran and Janelia both, and the subject also was very familiar to every college going guy or a girl or even some anybody who has been there wants to go there. So it was kind of aspirational to many, and coupled with the beautiful songs and the really well envisioned characters, the film was meant to be a success. And when I watched it for the first time, I knew it was going to be a huge hit because everyone liked, and even in a place like Kerala, people were applauding and laughing throughout. Like that's unusual for a film like this, which didn't have a big star like Ritik or Shah Rukh or Salman. But yeah, so I knew it was going to be a hit.
अच्छा, okay, that's so great. Okay, yes, thank you so much guys finally for being here, and thank you so much, main thank you जाता है तुषार को, क्योंकि यार 2 साल बाद आए हैं, so
2 साल
मुझे
बाद आए
काफी
हैं।
अच्छा लगा। yes,
I'm sorry
और
about my frequent disconnections. I think it's because of the rain. That's yeah, it's raining big time.
No, it's
So
understandable। Thank you
हाँ
so much। It's understandable, and it made the podcast really lively, and because we were talking about the fantasy elements and all, so it was very yeah। Thank
good.
you,
सही सही।
Tushar। Thank you so
Yeah,
much। Thank you।
like I have heard about you from Sanket, and finally, I'm glad we met in a chat like this. Good to know
Yeah,
your
yeah,
thoughts.
very Yeah, same here. Thank you. Mutual admiration. Yeah.
ऐसी एक्चुअली एक लास्ट पॉइंट था जो डॉक्टर अभी रख रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ऑडियंस ने काफी पॉजिटिवली रिस्पॉन्ड किया था
Respond.
टू जाने तू. It was the biggest hit of the month. Love Story 2015 released along with this movie. It tanked. Yes, Jaane Tu
Milo na
did very good
milo
business.
na milo. Milo na milo.
Yes, the
The
target
songs were
audience
good.
college
The
going
film
out.
was really bad, but its songs were good.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Yeah, the target
No,
audience
no.
college was very satisfied. Yeah.
Absolutely. और I think
But we were
तुषार
school
को भी
going.
ये फिल्म
But
देख
we
के
were school going
खुद
crowd.
खुद के यस खुद के कॉलेज के दिनों याद आए होंगे अभी रिवॉच करते वक्त शायद से. राइट.
Yes, he would have.
हाँ, I think so. I think Tushar. Okay, no problem. Yes, so thank you so much, guys. Finally, for coming to my podcast for this celebration.
It's an
बहुत
honor.
मजा
It's
आया.
an honor, and
It
we
was.
love coming. We love coming to the podcast with the Sanket. मजा आ जाता है. हाँ.
Absolutely. Next time definitely ऐसी कुछ धमाकेदार बहुत अच्छी फिल्म पे करेंगे जरूर. So तब तक के लिए thank you so much. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद इस podcast पे जुड़ने के लिए.
Thank you
Hope
so
to
much.
see
Thank
you
you.